Hello friends, welcome back to a new episode of Noobs in Disguise. I am Harstem and joined as always by the one and only Professor Lambo. What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing fantastic. I'm here to watch another Zergless game to show my expertise.
Yeah, that is the only thing that matters. I'm real happy with the games without a Zerg. And to be fair, the PvP last week definitely did deliver. This is, to me, the best game we've had so far. And that's not so surprising to me, as both players were Protoss, and that obviously ups the level of the game just in general. It's way better. Ooh, this is an interesting opener here out of the Terran. Mathematical, who's the person we're looking at, by the way. The Terran is the submitter. A second barracks on the low ground, so probably a Reaper attack.
It can't be, no? The gas is after the two barracks.
Wait, what? Oh, never mind then. Oh, this is not a build. He's been cancelled. Yeah, no shot. Yeah, okay. He's out of here. Oh no, Pro's opening up with 3 gate. I think he thinks that one of those is a core. But it's not. Or, oh no. I got so excited for a second.
Yeah, I could feel it. Within like 5 seconds. Yeah, you thought it was like a Masters League game.
There was a period of like 8 or 9 seconds when I saw like the 2 racks, like, oh, 3 Reaper build, this is so high level. I got really excited, and then this my dream crumbled. What is this guy doing? 4 gateways, 2 assimilators, and now a 3rd pylon before the core.
I mean, he thinks one of those is a core for sure, sure.
You should wait for. Okay, here we go. Yeah, he thought one of those gates 100% was a core. Now he realized that even if one of them was a core, this still wouldn't have been a build order. So I'm still somewhat disappointed. Out of the Terran, we have a 3 Marine, 1 Marauder push out, which honestly, in a game where a Protoss wouldn't scout and would have played a normal build, it might have actually been good. Now against a 4-gate opener, it should not be good, but there's not a single unit out yet, so it might still be okay. This is not a full wall yet for the toss either, so he has nothing.
He has nothing, but he has a lot of production, so he can make 4 units at once. Well, I guess he doesn't have the money for it, but theoretically he could. Start up 2 stalkers right away. Also has 2 pylons powering the 3 gateways, so he should be good on that front. And starts a shield battery over there. I don't honestly mind the build of the Terran so much, because he made it look like it's a normal build, and then he's trying to catch his opponent off guard with a Marauder move out. The Protoss, however, don't really have an excuse for him, as he did open with 4 gateways, which tends to be aggressive, but he doesn't have any units. So he's struggling right now against 4 units of his opponent, which is the amount of numbers that he has gateways, so it's a little odd.
Yeah, Warp Gate also is very late just because he seemed to have completely forgotten the Cyber Core. I'm not sure if he just forgot about its entire existence or if he thought one of the gates was indeed a core. The Terran's build order, I do agree with you. It felt like I still don't like it, but at least there was some, some meta gaming going on here. There was some thinking going on. It seems somewhat tight as well. There's an orbital going down. We have the 2 reactors as a follow-up. There is a tech lab already. And the bunker, I think, is reasonable as well after seeing no natural in your opponent's base. So I think we actually have a game on our hands here in which the Terran so far feels slightly superior.
Yeah, I mean, he's ahead. He looks to be better. You know what I think would be really funny? If someone sends us in a replay of the first run of an ESL Cup where like a Masters player plays against a Platinum player. This is kind of what this feels like to me. This guy is not floating anything. And the build order is correct. He's basically playing 3 racks, and now he's getting a starport and the factory. He is slightly oversaturated in the main and has only 1 in the second geyser, so I guess not super high level, but not too bad.
It resembles a build order at certain points, like the fact that there's 3 barracks and there's a build that's got 3 racks. I think that's because everything else has not been brilliant, like you mentioned. The mineral saturation, there's no eBay yet either. Reactor starts on the factory, but he forgot about the starport, which means that Medivacs can start production. It'd be kind of odd to start producing Hellions or mines at this point. We are going to see double eBay here. This is a new thing as well that I haven't quite seen before. As we have double Robo coming out of the Protoss right now, as well as a Nexus on the natural.
I mean, the Terran is like so far ahead right now, but he's kind of lost the plot. Like, I was with him at the beginning, but now with the double eBay. He's also starting to slip up a little bit more in macro. He wasn't supply locked at the start at all, and now he's getting supply locked basically every single depot. So it's getting a little bit worse, but he has a huge head start on the Protoss. Like, he's just way out mining him already.
Yeah, and also scouting around the map. Like, honestly, it kind of makes sense as well, because you saw no base, and all of a sudden it hits you. It's like, what if there's a proxy nexus? You know, and he scouts around and now starts patrolling the marine on the far right, even looking for, well, going into the natural. So that marine is not going to patrol. That's practically a move command here. Like, he's not gonna come back. He has the order to patrol, but we already know something that he isn't quite aware of yet. He's about to have a very painful death in the arms of 3 stalkers.
It is true. That Terran actually must have been super sad when he ran up and he saw no nexus, and then he ran up into the main and there were also no units. So a hidden base would probably be the most logical explanation if you think about it.
Yeah. Something that is a little bit odd to me is that the Protoss does have 42 workers now, while the Terran is also on 42 workers. It feels like if you have the command center that much quicker, probably should be a little bit higher. Wouldn't mind seeing a 3rd base either for the Terran player. And I'm actually starting to worry as he's producing marines from double reactors. Fairly little Marauders have been produced ever since the initial 5 or 6 or however many he built. Oh, he hasn't lost any, so just the 5, I guess. And his opponent is pumping Colossi 2 at the time.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree with that. He also went combat shield before stem, so he can't really do anything for now. I mean, usually you want to move out with the first 2 medevacs, and it's gonna time out nicely with his 1-1. It's just that his stem is super late, so I'm not sure he can actually do anything, and his opponent is gonna have a sick Colossus count once the stem actually finishes. So that means, for him, I hope he's gonna start a 3rd CC, rather sooner than later.
Yeah, and let's hope that he's aware of the Viking as a unit. Because I think, I mean, there's just no real anti-air. There's a couple of stalkers, but they won't really have any attack upgrades. They're gonna have blink, but also the numbers won't be that high. We have 2 more batteries going up. I'm afraid of something, Lambo, and I want you to give me percentages. What is the percentage chance right now that a Terran player scouts with his marine up the ramp and then A moves up this ramp, this 2 force field ramp?
Well, 0, since the marine just died down the ramp. Okay, now he's scanning and he's going back. Ah, this guy knows.
Is he going back or is he pre-spreading?
No, he's not going in there. Are you crazy? There's 3 batteries and 3 cola. If he goes in there, I'm leaving.
That's easy. I'll finish the rest by myself.
Yeah.
You're not cut out for it. Well, I like this drop play though. Not necessarily on a high level. This shouldn't be capable of working, but here, ooh, Natural is also under attack at the same time, or well, the Marines tried walking up the ramp. That didn't quite go according to plan. The main base, I think 1 Stalker died, as about 10, 12 Marines extra are going to fall here as well. This has been a fairly painful sequence here for our Terran player, though. I think he lost about 20 Marines and killed 1 Stalker.
Yeah, he tried to multitask, but I think as a Terran, what happens very often is you out-multitask yourself. You try to be fast, but you just end up losing units because you try to attack on 2 sides. Sometimes it's better to not overdo it. Know your own limits.
Yeah. Ooh. See, our Terran player also threw down a starport on a tech lab as he's adding 2 more starports that hopefully will get reactors. Not quite sure if he wants to build Ravens here as a response to the Colossus. That is not usually... Oh! PCs.
I mean, it's not that bad against double Robo if he gets away with it. The thing is, right at this point of the Protoss attacks, the Terran is the one that's in trouble.
Yeah, there's 32 Marines and 6 Marauders against 5 Colossus and a single Immortal.
Yeah, I mean, good scan. He sees it's the Colossus now. He's also not even producing Vikings beforehand. He's just getting ready for the BC swap. He stays on 3 barracks and he's trying to maybe base trade if the Protoss actually decides to attack.
I think that's a good call as well. I actually really like that. Some good movement. Oh, he's gonna be in some trouble here, isn't he? Needs to run for his life. Oh, pick up.
That's good for him though. Like, he's buying a lot of time for himself. He needs to start the battle cruisers. He has the fleet beacon. He has the starports ready. It's once again the multitasking is the limiting factor here for the Terran.
What's he buying time for? His time on Earth here is useless so far. So okay, now battle cruisers finally do start. 64 more seconds until they're out, but Well, there's only 6 Stalkers, actually. I thought if there's like 10, 12 Stalkers, the first wave might be fine if you can warp in a couple more, but yeah, which is 9 Stalkers. I'm not so sure if this is going to be fine. Once these 3 BCs are out as well, like base trades are definitely going to be possible, just teleporting them across the map. Protoss seems to be fairly unaware of what's going on the other side, is aware of the fact that there's a 3rd base. He managed to throw down his own 3rd base and probably wants to go across the map and try to deny the Terran's orbital there.
Yeah, I would really like to see the Terran still producing Marines. I mean, he now figured out that he doesn't have enough gas, so he took a 4th gas for the triple Starport battlecruiser, and now he realizes he needs even more, so he's throwing down 6 gas. But he's gonna float minerals, so might as well spend those on the bio units, Marauders and Marines. He's even still upgrading them as well, so... I mean, this attack is scary from the Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, his 6 Colossus is not gonna be close. Unless 5 Colossus start attacking the refinery, which might have happened in the past. I mean, this is complete destruction. The battlecruiser are out though, and with battlecruiser operational, things can always happen. Good things can always happen for the Terran. No Yamato cannon quite yet, but with the vehicle plating level 1 here, Stalkers are dealing a little bit less damage and they're getting completely blasted here. These Stalkers have no upgrades by themselves either yet, and every single Stalker will go down. We have a recall on the Colossus. They're going back home and a teleport across the map now. This is looking very bad all of a sudden for the Toss. Does he have anything to fight this?
He has 4 gateways. He just warped in 4 Stalkers. He's gonna have 8 Stalkers eventually. The one good thing is that the teleport is on cooldown, so the Terran has to play it very safely, and the Terran doesn't know necessarily how little gateway production there is. Honestly, blinking across is a super ballsy play, because if there's, let's say, 10 gateways, there can be 20 Stalkers very quickly, and those BCs will be forfeit. The Terran is still mass expanding with his minerals. I also like that move, since he's just floating minerals otherwise. Always good to spend them one way or another. And the Protoss decides his Colossus are useless at home, so let me just attack with them. I'm not sure if I can call this a run by. I guess it's more of an actual attack. Oh my god, a lot of SCVs going down here.
Yeah, not the perfect time to transfer. These guys got the letter that they're needed somewhere else, and they were like, "Oh, nice." The grass is greener somewhere else. They roasted before they ever truly get there. Meanwhile, the Protoss player, by the way, is transitioning into triple Stargates, which are all proxied across the map. Has a crap ton of resources as well, and probably wants to boost out a couple of Void Rays, or maybe even Tempest, as a fleet beacon will go down right now. There's loads of cash in the bank. I mean, if this is actually turning into a full-on base trade, I don't completely mind the position of the Toss. It is kind of a weird game, though, as this turret and the battlecruiser are doing fairly well against the 2 Colossus.
Yeah, I wouldn't like the base trade too much for the Protoss, because the Terran has so many bases already in awkward locations, and the Protoss doesn't simply have an army that he can kill anything with anymore, so it's good that he finally does defend the 2 battlecruisers. And I hope he produces units from his Stargate soon. Even waiting for the fleet beacon, I would have liked a round of Void Rays.
Yeah, he is repowering the gates in the main, by the way, so Stalker production can continue. These cannons over at the 3rd base are helping out. The batteries there are helping out as well. There is a 4th too, so the mining is definitely in favor here of our Protoss player, who adds 2 more Stargates. That seems like a little bit much, but I guess rather too much production. He has the same setup here with the pylons. He already maxed out in capacity, as he added 3 more pylons here. We're currently on 24 pylons and a 25th on the way, while also having 4 Nexi.
The Protoss getting ready for the base trade, by the way, moved to the left with about 10 probes and started making pylons already to not get eliminated. And the 1 pylon almost is scouting the extra base from the Terran.
Technically it is. If he's looking on the edge while an SCV is mining, you can see the animation.
Yeah.
So this is... I don't think he's gonna figure it out though. It'll be very unfortunate for the Terran
see the
if he
CC
takes this
flying by.
refinery.
Yeah, I think the Terran is revealing himself right now with the CC that is almost full energy. Flying across the pylons, trying to take what is supposed to be a Protoss base, to be honest.
Yeah, but I don't mind if the Protoss just relaxes for a bit, gets out 5, 6, maybe 7 Tempest, 10, 12 Stalkers as well. It's like a backup. And then you want to maybe try and start fighting across the map at some point. Try and find these BCs, but just be defensive until then. I mean, you're still outmining your opponent by a pretty significant margin here.
Well, not anymore, honestly. There's a lot of CCs at this point.
Oh, there's 5 orbitals.
There's 5 orbitals and a 6 CC already, which is most likely also going to become an orbital, so at least the mineral income is going to be buzzing for the Terran. as he once again attacks the Protoss' main base with 5 battle cruisers, while the Protoss is running by with 2 zealots from the base trade pylon.
Cool.
Also a pretty nice move.
Yeah, it's a good move. He doesn't have a single upgrade yet, by the way. So we're going to be working with 3-2 upgrades for the bio, 2-1 upgrades for the battle cruisers, and 0-0 for anything that's being built here by the TOS, whether that's Stalkers or Tempest, is getting the, what's it called, the tectonic destabilizer. So in case of a base raid might help out. Uh-oh, here go the BCs taking a lot of damage against those Tempest. 1 Stalker falls, so there's a battle cruiser. And now the second BC is most likely gonna go down Yamato rather than teleporting away. That means 2 more BCs will fall. Did a Tempest end up going down there? No, right? It was in battery range. Yeah.
Yep. All the Tempests survived. I mean, Tempests are really good. As long as they're not getting Yamato'd or blinked upon. They trade super effectively against the BCs. It's just a question of whether he can micro it or not. I think the biggest thing right now is who gets more mining done. Because if the Terran gets more mining done, I favor him a lot since he's just getting the better units. If the Protoss seems to be wanting to play only Tempest, I feel like even Marines are going to be scary if he doesn't babysit them.
Yeah.
Because he has no AoE at all.
Yeah, like all the Colossus have died at this point. So these 32 Marines, I mean, with 3-2 upgrades, they're absolutely going to rip through these Tempests. Like they have no chance. I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a medevac being added at some point as well here for the Terran player, who indeed, his income is crazy right now. 3,200 minerals, 3,600 a minute, as there's 5 mules popping off right now. A new base is being taken here for the Protoss. He skipped the one at the 4 o'clock, went straight to the 3 o'clock, closer to the Terran, and also closer to his production, of course. Now the Tempest moving across the map, they're in trouble. They're dead, no?
They are dead. I mean, he can try to run towards the left side and then recall them, but the moment the Marines decide to stim, I feel like they are a goner. They get some BCs though on the way out. The Terran forgot that stim exists. Maybe he's F2ing and the battle cruisers override the Marines, so it's impossible for him to stim.
Yeah, but then you would see the T hotkey is also for teleport for the BCs. They'd be teleporting forwards. Like, what's happening here? Yeah, that's probably not the case.
You don't left click after stim, so he's probably just spamming it.
Why is my stim not working? Why is it targeted all of a sudden? I thought I could do it for entire groups of units. It's actually pretty sweet micro here with the Tempest, by the way. The Marines have not been brilliant. This teleport forward has also not been brilliant. That seemed accidental more than anything. So perhaps the stim theory is correct here. 1 more BC does end up going down, and the control on the Tempest remains good enough. 3-2 Marines, so if they ever get underneath those Tempests and do find the stim button, these Tempests are complete toast.
Yep. He's also still mining mostly minerals, the Terran is, so his bios, which honestly is looking good, that the Protoss is now finally going into carriers, but those are unupgraded carriers. He's now stimming in, but 2 cannons there, a shield battery overcharge out of range of any unit that is being targeted. So decided for the worst out of the 3 batteries there, but the Tempest slowly but surely cleaning up the Marines. Not for free though.
Yeah, I feel like the cannons definitely aided a little bit here as well. The battery's doing some good work. Just all the buildings for tanking in general too, right? You see a bunch of pylons and assimilators that lost some health. A bunch of probes have gone down, which honestly, it's better to lose probes at this point than to lose your Tempest. And this trade went way better for the TOS than I ever thought it would. As you mentioned, carriers are now popping out, 5 at a time. And the final Marines will get taken out here by this cannon. And that means we're going to have 40 Marines left, 3 battle cruisers against 7 Tempests, 2 Immortals, and potentially 7 carriers as well. With the big banger here being that these carriers still don't have any upgrades, and +3 armor Marines are probably going to perform pretty well against them, honestly.
That's what I think as well. I mean, I think theoretically if both of them max out, and the Protoss just maxes out on unupgraded carriers against 3-3 Marines, even with battle cruisers, if the battle cruisers are tanking, if they fly forward, they will negate a lot of the carriers' DPS against the Marines. So I feel like still the Terran has good chances here. It's really funny to me how they expand. But I'm not sure if they know in Platinum that you can actually take the gold base on this map. Since they're just taking each other's bases. Yeah. It doesn't look like it's a...
This is not a well-known fact yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this base is going to get taken out and will also lose all of his production. Honestly, I think losing the production here is a blessing in disguise. He might look at this army and be like, all right, I need more production. What should I build? If he goes back into Colossus, that would be brilliant. Because,
well,
honestly,
he has no robo.
If you just get 3-4 Colossus here, you're golden. Or if you get Storm, I don't think he's going to get Storm. And I also don't think he's getting Colossus, actually. He's adding more Stargate, new fleet beacon, unupgraded carriers it is. And honestly, like, mass marines are just a decent counter against carriers if there's no splash with the carriers. Like, if there's no storm or colossus, yeah, marines are just good, supply efficient.
Now the question is, are they good enough to kill the Protoss under a super battery and some cannons? Because that's what we're about to see here. Super battery is being activated and not targeted as well. The Terran is running forward trying to target the carriers. I feel like it's better to kill the interceptors if you're this marine heavy. But he's instead trying to run forward and kill the capital ships. He's doing so slowly but surely. Holy shit, carriers are so much worse than I thought without upgrades. I'm used to, like, if I see this fight, I usually think, okay, the Protoss is stomping this under a super battery. It actually went better than expected, but still decent, honestly.
That was pretty crazy. That was a surprisingly good fight for the Protoss. I think there was a lot of things here that could have gone better for the Terran. He targeted down a lot of Tempest with his Marines. If those were carriers or if those were interceptors going down, that would have been huge. If the super battery would have been targeted down, that would have been huge as well. Still believe that Terran is in a fine position. He's adding 3 more starports at this point, or sorry, 2 more starports, 3 more BCs, and 5 more barracks as well. He has, what am I seeing? 6 orbital commands with a crap ton of energy. I think almost every single orbital is full energy, except the one that just dropped 4 mules. So mineral income should not be much of an issue. If he just gets the max out again, I think he can take this game. We do, however, have the +1 air weapons finally on the way. So it seems like the Protoss realize that he might be entering the late game sometime soon. Because like after the 17th carrier, maybe it's time to get some upgrades. He lost 12 Tempest so far. So it's still early days.
It's true, it's true. I mean, it matters a lot more for the carriers than Tempest, as you could see in that fight. I wonder how you're actually supposed to make it right now with the Marines. Are you supposed to hold position? Because it's better to kill the interceptors first, right? Than running forward and killing the carriers, unless they're super exposed.
Yeah, I guess they were technically pretty exposed, but in general, if you just hold position from a distance, I think he should have been absolutely fine here. Yeah. So then you kill all the interceptors and you just move forward. Of course, still was a decent amount of Tempest, but they attack so slow that by the time you kill all interceptors, like maybe you lose 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 Marines, but should be completely fine. 40 Marines are being produced at a time here. It's now a Marine run by pure Marines, no medevacts, no nothing, are heading in towards the natural and most likely into the main base as well. Protoss will need to take care of that as a mothership has now started. I do see a robotics facility here, which is producing an observer. Honestly, just 2 Colossus here would boost this army so freaking much. It would do so much against legitimately 73 Marines.
Yeah. Even Disruptors or Storm would also be fine. Really just any AoE would help a lot. I mean, the Protoss did realize there's a gold base, so he's taking it now, which is also very good, because he's getting severely outmined by the Terran, who's on 71 workers, and also has mules theoretically. Whenever he decides to use them, really.
I love that the Terran is also getting just the armor, the building armor upgrades. I feel like the TOS hasn't been on the other side of the map in the past 18 minutes, but I do appreciate it anyway. I mean, with a Viking count like this, there's just no way, right? These are 3-1 Vikings as well. This amount of... I think you can just almost move command at this point and accidentally win the fight.
I would watch out. I mean, Vikings shooting at interceptors can look very, very dumb. So if you just A-move the Vikings even, they're pretty much useless. As now he's finally stimming under. He also does scan, and he's once again... I don't know what this teleport is honestly about, because it's just a lot of DPS that's getting lost. But he's clearing up the interceptors, a lot of the carries are getting lower in HP, and all the Tempest went down. And the Protoss just left. Yeah. GG.
Wild call. The funny thing in that last fight is that the battlecruiser teleport in was so bad, not just for the DPS lost, but also because they weren't tanking anymore, right? They're invulnerable as they're teleporting, so the Marines took the brunt of the damage, which actually ended up being pretty bad. For a second, I almost thought that the Protoss could win, but nah, it's just too many Marines, too many Vikings, too many BCs. Difficult one, though, today. I mean, I really struggled to see what this was, Lambo.
Yeah, I think it's Platinum League. Once again, I have no clue what MMR what is. I still don't. I should honestly just Google it at this point. My initial guess would be like 3.3k, so I'm going to go even lower. I'm going to say 3.1k today.
Okay, I want to go for 2.859.
Okay.
2859. Very
Are you just
precise.
you're just going lower this time on purpose, all right?
But yeah, I thought it was 3700, so I went down by about 900.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured.
My gut feeling was very high. It's because, okay, because this Protoss played Airtals. And I figure with Airtals, if you know how to build carriers, you automatically kind of get promoted very close to the 4K MMR, you know? That should be
Well, he
decent enough.
didn't. He didn't really. He went Colossus, and he just after he saw the battle cruisers, he made Tempest, right?
Right. So, but he has hotkeys for the Tempest and for carrier, so I figured
Oh,
he
that's
should be
huge.
should
That's
be
huge.
golden. So, but I said 2859. You said 3100. Is that correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right, I'll download the file. 2883.
Whoa. Okay.
The new strategy of minus 900 is working so far. Absolute destruction here. Is this the first time I've won? Maybe the second time.
This is the best guess by far, for sure.
Yeah.
By far, we've
Very
never been this
impressive.
close. I think we always went above. This is also the first guess that went below.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe this commenter actually helped me out. All right.
Yeah.
Sick. Well, congratulations to me. Sucks to be Lambo. That's going to be it for this week. Lambo, any last words to the viewers?
Well, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.
Yeah, see you next video. Don't forget to like button, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. What did you think? Were you closer than I was? Most likely not, because it was really close. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.